week into the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Taking in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. The Lance going to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
They'll run here with a rookie second-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Smith. Eluding the pressure right. That is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield. But they never did.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it'll bring up third down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession. Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively. Right side, and he finds Gray. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there. And 3rd and 1 now. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, terrific last week in the season-opening victory. And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game. That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here for looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And the grab by Croft. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Lance on the keeper, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Well, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Here's Mitchell. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me,
It's time to attack.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Ready, set. Ultra.
Lance now on first down. Flush to his right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Now Lance. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to extend their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Walker now on 1st and 10. On the move past the 40. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kenneth Walker, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Screen play, setting it up for Mitchell.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. You know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10.
Makes the score Seahawks 14, 49ers 10.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they go back to Mitchell. A solid stiff arm. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 54 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I know a lot of coaches like the toss play because they think it can be a real momentum shifter. Get the ball to that back who can get to the corner and turn it upfield. And on this play, that's exactly what they got, including a first down.
A first carry for the rookie from LSU, Ty Davis-Price. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 37. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Shot 17. Ball red.
Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker taken down at the 47-yard line.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ready up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And going right back to Walker. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
We're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings... Kyle Shanahan doesn't care much for that last call, so out comes the red challenge flag. So for Kyle Shanahan, he had it right as the challenge is a good one. Lance getting this out wide to Ayuk. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the...
On the set.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Yellow, orange, Smith, red.
Back to the ground here, Mitchell. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here we go.
This offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Lance. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Eric Armstead. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
95 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets it on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Walker with another carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll toss this out right to Walker. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Charles, defensively, 1 timeout left. Do you use it here, or do you let it roll to the 2-minute warning?
I would use it here because you're going to get the 2-minute warning stoppage as well, and then that means you have to snap the ball again. Something could happen. Something could go awry. You could get the ball back. I wouldn't let it run.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Checks this one down. It's Mitchell.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Meanwhile, Lance's throw caught by Gray. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Okay. Right.
2nd and 7.
Right.
Lance back to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact.
Here's Lance.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Lance looking to throw.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Now Lance.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to hang on the final play.